Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mitch's Minute, the show where I essentially get to talk about whatever I want to talk about for about 30 to 40, maybe an hour. Like it's just
30 to 40, maybe an hour.
maybe an
Who
hour.
knows?
You never know. Um,
Depends on how you feeling.
that's right. Depends on like how the week went and everything. Today, we kind of have a smaller episode of Mitch's Minute. Like, it's not that there's not a lot that happened. It's just it feels like in comparison to a lot of the other things that have been happening throughout the week, like just I had a really busy but just a busy work week, and I haven't gotten around to just doing more fun things. I'm sure none of you want to hear about the dumb shit that I've been up to. um
Oh, no, I think all of us have had like a busy work week. The only thing semi exciting that happened to me was the wrestling show.
yeah, but you could talk about the wrestling show. Actually, you know what, right now, how was the wrestling show?
It was pretty good. There were like a handful of actually interesting wrestlers. We were sat behind the family of one of the wrestlers actually. Uh, his name was Juicy.
Nice name.
And it was his wrestling name. I don't know why, but he had apparently won the belt several times in a row, and he was just this Samoan guy named Juicy,
It's fair.
and he whipped the shit out of four white boys that all tried to take him down. It was like one of them, stringy little motherfucker. He like came at him just running from across the fucking ring. He picked him up and tossed him down.
Oh, jeez.
Like he was fucking a piece of paper. It
Oh my
was great.
god. That sounds really cool actually.
Oh yeah. He was great. Fucking there was a fucking point in time in which he fucking got onto the ropes of the ring and just bodied slammed all three of them at the same time. It was really excellent. And then there was a luchador one.
Of course, you have to have the luchador one.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
was
of
like a
course.
luchador. I didn't like catch his name. The sound system was pretty bad from where we were at, but I didn't catch his name. But he was dressed up in like Aztec like clothing, like with an eagle head on and everything.
All I want is it for it to be like, and coming to the ring, weighing 250 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck this dude's name was, but he was also great. He was a high flyer.
mm.
So, and he was fighting another high flyer, so it was nothing but flips and shit. Like they would pick each other up, fucking flip backward to pick the other one up. It was actually really fucking solid.
You know what? What's funny is that I remember I have never been to like a big wrestling show. My brother was super into it.
Hmm.
Like the actual like WWE stuff like SmackDown and Raw back in the
Hmm.
day. But like I've only been to one wrestling I guess like what match show. I
Yeah.
don't yeah, I've only been to one wrestling match, and it was in an anime convention during Colossicon. uh
Really?
and yeah, no, every time the mat shook from the impacts of these people, it was like it was intense.
Oh, it's so fucking loud when they hit the mat.
Oh my god, it just gets the adrenaline pumping. You're just like, holy shit. And it's fun.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. Fucking, there were some really like interesting ones. There was one whose entire thing was that he was a clown.
That was it, just a clown.
Well, he was like a crazy clown.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
nice.
I don't know, man. Like comparatively to the high flying luchador eagle, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like measure up to that because He did amazing work.
Oh man.
That boy slipped in and out of the ropes like it wasn't any fucking problem.
I think that like wrestling gets I feel like in our generation like you either really like wrestling or it was one of those things that are just like cuz I remember there's so many people that just like shat on it all the time. Like you were either really into it or you just like thought it was dumb. But then over the years like I've discovered that people liked it because it was dumb. And I think that that's the part that gets me is like I'm sure I've talked about this before. I have a weird, long joke about wrestling and how to make it better.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's a whole dumb thing, and I don't want to do it right now.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't want to do my 40-minute joke.
No, I remember when you told it to me, we sat there talking about it for 2 hours. We could make a fucking Mitch's Minute and a Mitch's Minute Part 2 on this one joke.
On this one joke about how to make wrestling into the greatest show ever watched. And you just have to double down. That's all it boils down to. You just gotta double down. You have to. Like if you want to get those views, make it ridiculous. Make it as ridiculous as you possibly can. And make it like as anime as you possibly. Because I mean that's the thing. Like they already do that in Japan. They make it as anime as fuck. You know? So anywho. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic, shall we? Let's go into the channel logo real quick. Oh, no, I'm in front of it still. There we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so today's episode, or I should say this week, we're going to do the same streams we usually do. Persona comes back on Thursday, Fire Emblem on Tuesday and Friday, with a couple of videos sprinkled in between. I want to apologize that there wasn't that many videos uploaded. I feel like I've been apologizing a lot lately just due to the fact that work has been kicking my ass. And I just haven't had a chance to like really sit down and just work on those videos. But I'll try to get some more done this week. I say this, but one of the topics is literally about how I beat a game for this week. But yeah, so we have like the regular stream stuff, but there's also some stuff I'm contemplating on doing. Just based purely on the fact that like we've talked about it a couple times here and there about how much we play D&D. I mean I'm tempted to just like just I don't know, do something with that. We've done it before in terms of like talked about like turning one of our campaigns into something that people could actually like listen in on, and then maybe we would do like a live version and then like upload it later, you know.
Oh yeah, and you've introduced that a little bit into the Discord where they can just listen in on us like doing D&D. I don't know how anybody who would come in to listen to our like Tribe Time one would even fucking handle that.
Oh my god, don't. Tribe Time is context at home. Tribe Time is my longest going campaign. It's like the longest one we've had going. It's one that has been filled with tons of just different things that just are in a constant bombardment of just nonsense. It's a whole thing. We literally spent yesterday. Me and Nate were in a different server talking about it with one of our server heads, Joe, and a couple of his friends. And Nextian, we were talking about how ridiculous that campaign gets. How like just straight balls to the walls mad it gets just because of how the rules have been established. But I mean, I don't know. We play so much of it. I just thought maybe that could be something fun to do. But anyways, that's not why you're here today. You're here to listen, not here to listen to D&D. We have two really interesting subjects I want to talk about tonight. And the first subject is going to be a little on the lighter side. The second one might take a little bit longer to explain. Today we're going to talk about Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru, a manga by Mamashi Kishimoto, and if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because it's a guy who made Naruto. The story is by Mamashi Kishimoto, and the art is actually done by one of his assistants, Akira Okubo.
Yeah, who worked with him on, like, Naruto, you said.
Yeah, he was an assistant on Naruto, and you can definitely tell just based on the style of this manga. Now, the manga came out, I think, it's either 2 years ago or last year. I apologize. I haven't read the whole thing yet. I don't really have a good grasp on when it came out, but it's been going on in Shonen Jump for some time. And one of the things I can honestly say about it is it definitely feels like an old school Naruto story. And I know that sounds weird, but the main character acts like a child because he is a child. Yeah, he's a child. Sometimes you watch some of this anime or you read some of these manga, these kids are like way smarter than
than they should be.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the emphasis point, and sometimes it's not. And I think that like the fun of it is without kind of just going by what I've read so far. Hachimaru essentially is born in a sci-fi fantasy world in which samurai are looked up to in the way that Naruto looked up to ninjas, right? Like Hokage and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hachimaru was born with incredibly brittle bones. He has allergies to like a bunch of just tons and tons and tons of allergies. He can't eat anything but like some like paste. Like some liquid, yeah, like a liquid diet he has to go on.
What the fuck?
And if you look at his back in that first chapter, he's attached by giant cords to a life-preserving machine.
Was Naruto's backstory not sad enough for you? Do you have to double down, Kishimoto?
Well, that's the thing. So, like, as it turns out, that there is, his dad is working on a chair that would allow Hachimaru to kind of wander around a little bit more. And, you know, that way he can get out and about, because for the most of Hachimaru's life, he's only lived in one spot. And he escapes using video games, like a little VR video game that he can play at any time. And he spends most of his time in that video game. So Hachimaru, or his dad, I should say, in order to make this wheelchair work for him, like this big, like spherical Frieza boss chair work for him,
geez.
He goes and tries to buy this orb called a key holder from a rogue samurai. Now, samurai in this world they're cyborgs. Like, think Raiden from Revengeance. But they're magic cyborgs.
Magical cyborg.
So Raiden from Revengeance.
Okay.
So when you cut off a limb, it's not like they can reform the limb. And essentially all that's left of them is like their spine and soul, I think.
Okay.
But like even that is like magical. So like it's like a whole thing. And the spine becomes something called a key. And that's when in Hachimaru's life his little spirit dog who can't bark but goes meow. I don't know,
Okay.
Discovers a blind chubby cat samurai. Cat dog samurai. It's a dog. Is Daruma a dog or I can't remember. I
have no idea, man.
Here I'll put him up. He's a dog. He's super a dog. I'm pretty sure. Is he a cat? He might be a cat. I
love how confused you are.
I look at him, right, and I'm like, oh, he's a cat. Dog? Hang on, let me.
Obviously, it's a cat.
hang on. I gotta put the image of it. I'll put the image up. No, there it is. Hang on 1 second. I'm just gonna up and You see my confusion? Do you see what I'm coming? He's a cat. Yeah, he's cat.
Yeah, it looks like a kitty.
Yeah, so Daruma pops out of this ball, and he's a blind kitty, and he's a master samurai though, and so he's gonna teach. He's like, oh well, Hachimaru, you have the potential to be like a really good samurai, but there's something about you that I just can't do it. You have the spirit, but there's something missing, and it's it's my physical body, isn't it? It's like, I wouldn't say it's that. I'm a blind cat guy. I mean, problems ensue. Like,
I love the I wouldn't say that.
like, so problems ensue, and by the end of the first chapter, Hachimaru his body essentially magically transforms into one of these samurai cyborg bodies. So now he can eat food. He can see without the need of his glasses. He he can move and be like a cool samurai. And all that video game knowledge from his VR game kind of helped in a weird way get him ready to fight. And so now he can achieve his dream of being a samurai. So
I was kind of hoping it was going to be like a Rock Lee situation.
Well, he does. It's not. How do I word this? I don't really know how it's. So here's the deal. I've only read about 8 chapters of this manga. There is way more, and trust me, when I'll come back some weeks and I will talk about how the manga's going. But the reason why I wanted to kind of bring it up is because this seems like a very solid manga. I'm really enjoying the characters. I really enjoy the hijinks that have ensued so far. One of his first friends he makes is a character who has a left and right arm who have AI in them, I think, so they can actually talk. And like one of them is like, no, your dream is to be a samurai, and then the left hand's like, no, her dream is to marry someone and settle down. And the right arm is just like, what are you talking about? And the left one's just like, duh, she's a girl. Fucking, it's like, I don't think that it's a whole thing. It's just read it.
Duh, she's a girl. And that's very sexist of you.
Yeah, but the right hand's like, no, he's a boy, and so it's just it's gimmicky. It's fun. It's I said it out loud, and now I'm like, maybe it's problematic. I took it as a joke. I don't know.
No, I'm sure it's probably just a joke.
Yeah, it's just in jest. It's like, so, but like I almost see it like kind of like I don't know. It feels very childish, the way that Hachimaru looks at the world and his eagerness for adventure. And I think the friend ends up developing a crush on him by the end of the first one. So it's almost like because he has like, I don't know. It seemed like that because he's like, I want to, it's like because what is it? Hachimaru in like the second chapter like accidentally grabs his friend's katana, and it has a DNA lock on it. And so he can't use it, and so then the friend and him have to hold the sword together to cut down the enemy. And then the friend is just like, I would really like it if, we cut something like a cake together. And then Hachimaru's like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna go adventure now.
No, what the fuck ever. I'm out.
What? I can't hear you, shy person who's been an introvert their whole life. Tell me more about this. So there is, I don't know, to me, I'm like, what I would love it is if Kishimoto, I know this is a little bit of a wish fulfillment fantasy for me, but I would love it if Kishimoto did a gay relationship with his main character. That's, to me, that would be really nice. That would be like, maybe like, do essentially it would be written up like the Hinata situation, but it would be, like a gay character. I think that could be really fun, because it would be almost tongue-in-cheek to how everyone shipped Sasuke more than Hinata at the beginning. So,
oh, dude. Like, most definitely. It was Sasuke Naru for a lot of fucking people for a long fucking time.
Oh man, it's it's and that's the thing. I think that at the end of the day, it could just be like it's really getting to that point. Of course, later on they introduce the concept that every samurai needs three things to function as a really solid samurai. They need the samurai soul, they need a key holder, and they need a princess. And they've introduced this third character, and I'm pretty sure she's the it's there. She is the princess. So it's
Yeah, like obviously it's the fucking princess.
right. It's well, yeah, because like like apparently it's like the princess has the key, like like there it, like is like it has the key holder, right? So the samurai, yeah. So like I don't know, they haven't really gotten into details so far about what the connection between the three of them is, but apparently that's what the samurai needs. So maybe my wish fulfillment fantasy is kind of out the window, but we'll see how it turns out. And like obviously this is Kishimoto we're talking about. If you needed any other form of confirmation of whether or not this was great, I mean it's wonderful. I'm having such a good time with it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's fucking Kishimoto.
Yeah, like it's like early Naruto. It hasn't gotten super complicated with character arcs and all sorts of fun stuff. Apparently he only wants this to be about 10 volumes.
Only 10.
We will see how that goes, because apparently at one point he said Naruto was only supposed to run for 15.
Fuck.
And yeah, we will see, but I'm really enjoying this. And also, real quick, over this last week, I've been saving up and I splurged a little and got myself a little Galaxy tablet so I can start reading manga more, because it's something I really got out of. There's another manga I would like to talk about, but I'd have to go and get the images, because I should have like actually prepared it, because I'm like, oh, let's talk about manga. Let's talk about fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I too have like fallen out of reading manga, not because like I just wasn't interested anymore, just simply because like the more like I got older, the less time I had. And it was very unfortunate. I just kept working so much.
Oh yeah.
That eventually I was like, I can't even fucking, I don't even have time to watch anime, let alone sit down and actually read manga.
You know what's funny? I actually like, so I'll sit there and like we'll watch a couple shows together, like me, you, and Nate. Like we'll watch like Naruto, and like we'll watch certain shows together. But like honestly, that's like around like 11 o'clock at night, when like 11 midnight, maybe even 2 o'clock in the morning, when I should be asleep. So like it's almost kind of hard to make that time up. But the thing that I really like about this little tablet is I'll get home, I'll just load it up, and like Shonen Jump, I'm sure that like we're not sponsored, obviously, we're not big enough for that shit. But if there is one sponsor I would super love, is actually is not Crunchyroll. Yeah, Crunchyroll, but like also Shonen Jump, like VIZ Media's Shonen Jump.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll take Crunchyroll.
But like, how cool would that be though? Like, but like Shonen Jump essentially gives you access to its entire library. I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho on there, and Black Cat, and a bunch of shows, or a bunch of manga I haven't thought about in years. Everything VIZ has pretty much had a license for, as long as it's associated with Shonen Jump or like the shonen genre, it's available on the Shonen Jump app for $2 a month. The price of like, not even the price of like a gas station fucking drink.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Like it's and I'm having such a good time with it. I'm also trying to pick up Eldalive, which was the person who did KHR's like next manga that's still going on. And before we kind of move on to the next subject, because I should actually finish the subject, huh? Samurai 8 is wonderful. I'm having such a great time with it. If you miss the old, like, I know that there's a Boruto manga going on, but it's not written by Kishimoto. It's written by some other person. And I've heard a lot of problems with the Boruto manga, and maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. But like, if you miss that old sense of adventure and kind of just want something that has like a little bit of an old school flair in how the story's written, and just seemingly really fun. A lot of the characters almost there's a moment in like the second or third chapter in which they introduce these pigs in a tank. Like these pig samurai in a tank.
What?
Yeah, they're like pig men. They're not like actual pigs. I think it's just their cyborg body looks like that. But they're in a big cartoony tank. And it reminds me almost of like original Akira Toriyama fucking Dragon Ball. Like that's the pool almost. And like they're
Really?
yeah, and like if you want to see a happy-go-lucky kid who's finally free and can fly in the sky with his dog that can fucking spread wings and like fucking meows, this is the manga for you. If you're just in the mood,
if you're in the mood to see a kid's dog that meows,
that's right.
That's just a cat, my dude.
That's right. That's right. Anyways, Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru is a wonderful manga, and I will update you guys as I read it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things right now. Right next to this next manga, I want to kind of talk a little bit about, because how do I word this? How do I word this without sounding like just like the worst? So Josh and I have a little bit of a weird relationship when it comes to manga. Josh and I have been reading manga since we were, I'm going to say 13, 14, maybe even younger. But we've been reading manga for a very, 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 very long time. Because, yeah, and that's the thing. We're still friends. We still read manga. Like, well, he reads way more manga than I do. But he recommended me this one recently. I think it was Wednesday.
Right.
And it's called Destroy All Humankind. They Can't Be Regenerated. Now, if that sounds like a standard like title for manga now or visual novels now, because God, the Japanese just gave up on naming conventions. It's actually the
sometimes they just feels like they gave up name wise.
Midwife delivers demon baby Chan.
Is it okay to pick up girls in a dungeon?
That one's real.
Your mom's super special secret move.
The time I got reincarnated as a slime.
The hero that was overly like cautious.
I am a mid-aged man. I'm a middle-aged man who gets teleported into a fantasy world. Like that one, I fucked that one up, but that was also a real one. But the point is, this is called.
Are you just talking about fucking the saga of Tanya the Evil?
No, not. Oh Jesus, I don't want to get into that. Destroy All Humankind. They Can't Be Regenerated is a manga that has been going on for a little bit now. And once again, this is another one of those ones that I've actually been. I'm not that far into it, obviously, so I almost wonder if like I'll be talking about this. But this is a nice read, and then it's like, but Mitchell, what about when this happens? But like, I'm hoping nothing happens. Or maybe I am. Maybe it's gonna be one of those fucking moments like when you read a manga for like 2 years and then they decide to do something incredibly drastic. The anime doesn't end up doing. That was a whole fucking thing. Anyways,
yeah.
The point is that this manga actually takes place in 1998, and the reason why it's called Destroy All Humankind is because it's a play off of a Magic the Gathering card text that was for a white mana card that essentially made it so that like you would it was a bunch of field wipes. So the character on the right, because guess what, I don't remember the names of these characters because I've been reading too much manga and everything starts to blend.
It all just blends together after a while.
Well, character on the right, let me actually take the moment to just like load it up so I can actually get names down and not just be a dick. Ah, jeez.
Just say boy or girl, man.
I don't. Fine. Fine.
Fine.
I don't. Jesus. Hajima is the guy on the right. He plays mono black. So his whole gimmick is he's really into those edgy cards. He's essentially a chunibyo before the term chunibyo was a thing.
What the fuck is that?
A chunibyo is like someone who's like, when you're in middle school or high school and there's people who was like, I'm a wizard or like I'm special. My character's name is Cloud, and they're delusional, super delusional. It's like a shitty phase in which everyone, it's like, oh, I'm the reincarnation of the god Ra, Yeah, you know those people,
Yeah,
I totally wasn't one of them. Yeah, totally. Anyways, Hajima plays Mono Black, and he doesn't believe that anything can defeat Mono Black. He's like, hatred binds me. He's like a Sith Lord. He makes references all the time to just dumb things from '98 because that's what he knows. He'll ride his bike to the Magic the Gathering shop singing the Gundam theme. That's how lost this kid is. The person next to him, the girl next to him, is Sawatari. Sawatari as the first manga chapter goes, it turns out that she actually secretly plays Magic the Gathering. She is an honor student who constantly outranks our main character, Hajima, all the time. She gets first place, he gets second place in everything they do.
Oh, including Magic the Gathering, I take it.
Yes, including Magic the Gathering, because while Majima or Hajima fucking will play Mono Black, he ends up getting wiped a lot because Mono White at that time could super easily counter black cards.
Oh yeah, and Grozen says the guy who bought a katana and unironically thought they were a samurai.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so Hajima, it's kind of funny because I'm a few chapters in. I go on to keep reading it, but the thing that I really like about it is the fact that it's cheesy. It's really, really, really cheesy, and it's dumb. And I know I shouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is something I'm reading, but there is almost like this fun factor that it takes place in 98 because there's this promise that they make between each other at the end of the first chapter that says, hey, I beat you in Magic the Gathering, Sawatari says to Hajima. He's like, now you have to fucking listen to my orders, which is the dumbest thing you could absolutely make in a manga. Is like, now you have to follow everything I say forever because you lost in Magic the Gathering when you were 13. Fucking,
you're my slave forever.
That's right.
What?
So is it dumb? Yes. Is it cheesy? Absolutely. But there is things that I really like about it. The manga really seeps itself in 98. And there's something that I actually, it's almost like the fact that it takes place in 98, so it uses a lot of the old card arts, and I think one of my favorite interactions between these two characters is the fact that Sawatari makes fun of the mono black cards for looking ugly and disgusting.
Oh.
Which these cards absolutely look the worst. She makes fun of the card arts for them, and I think that's so funny. And like another thing is Hajime will like when he loses the match, he will imitate like the way that when he loses it, he'll look like one of the bad card arts, and it's just a fun moment where the mangaka has to like redraw the card art behind him.
Oh my god.
But like he figures it out. He does like slowly but surely. Like, and that's the thing. They like even in the translation notes and in the little like author notes, they talk about how Mono Black at this time was actually the weakest of the colors for Exodus's expansion pack. And if you don't know anything about that, welcome to my world, because while I got into Magic the Gathering, it wasn't until 2004 when I was like, 12. So, like, even if, like, you're not a big fan of Magic the Gathering, or even if, like, you don't have that understanding of it at the time, the thing that I actually really like about this manga is that it really seeps itself with 98 references. Like, Hajima will do something really cringy. Like, he'll claim that, like, he's like, the only reason I lost to you in school grades is because I was too busy playing Xenogears. And everyone's like, what the fuck is Xenogears? Because people didn't know!
Meanwhile, the mangaka is like, I'm amazing. I know what Xenogears is.
Like things like that. Like, when we were younger, we didn't know what fucking Xenogears is. Now everyone knows it. Well, everyone who cares knows it because the internet. So it's kind of this interesting look at almost the years before the boom of the internet and like how it all worked. And it's very nostalgic, and I really think that the manga, it's not just the nostalgia that makes me read it. There is kind of like this factor of just a cheesy, dumb story I can just like read and enjoy, And
yeah.
And I want to see how it goes. Like, I feel like there is something interesting you could really do with this, and something I actually really like about the card game. And I know this is kind of a weird pull considering the fact that I'm like a super huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan. But like something I actually really like is the fact that like there isn't those Yu-Gi-Oh moments of, well, now all the Magic cards are like real.
Yeah.
So far, the answer.
I'm pretty glad.
Mind you, this is so far. I haven't read past a certain point, so we'll see how that turns out. But
yeah, hopefully they don't pull any of that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is another one of those recommendations. I'm really enjoying it so far. But if something really big pops up with this one, it's not going to be like Hachimaru. Well, I'll probably talk about it when I get a chance to. But I'm enjoying it so far. Now, the last topic of today's of this week is actually talking a little bit about a game that I slept on for a little bit, and I've mentioned it, I think, in Fire Emblem last Friday. But I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And okay.
And how awesome this game was.
That's right, because you just finished it, huh?
That's right, yeah. Much like a hyperbolic time chamber. I remember picking this game up. I played Cassandra for, I think, like 40 hours, something like that. And then I just dropped the game. I just dropped it. And I don't even remember why. I think it was because like some other game had come out. It was Kingdom Hearts 3. That's what happened.
Oh. We all know how long that took us.
That's right. We all know how long that took us. But I played a lot of. I've been every day almost for like 3 or 4 weeks. I've been playing a little bit more and more of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I finally fucking beat it. And when I say I beat it, I mean I beat the main story threads. The main story. I didn't beat the DLC. I just haven't. But the reason I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is because, much like Origins, I didn't actually get a chance to really dig into Origins. But much like Origins and how it changed the format of the Assassin's Creed games from being a stealth game to being almost an optional stealth game and more of just a sandbox RPG in which you're playing your character trying to do side quests and all sorts of stuff, kind of in a Breath of the Wild style mishmash. This game was really, really good. This game surprised me on how good it was. And I can't emphasize enough how, like, this...
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good surprise. Like, I forgot. Like, I hadn't picked this game up in, like, a year. And then arbitrarily I was like, you know what? This will be the time. I'm going to do it. Why not? And
why not now?
I restarted the game. I wasn't Cassandra anymore. Now I decided to start with Alexios. And while essentially it's the same experience, just with a different, like, you know, you just play a different sibling. There's no real dialogue differences, I'm pretty sure. So, the thing that I just really enjoyed about it was the fact that, like, there was so much to do. Tons of side quests, tons of people to interact with. Like, they also had almost like a weird fantasy element to it, where you had to deal with, like, the Gorgon and the Minotaur and the Sphinx and shit.
Yeah.
And like, though that stuff, like that Greek mythology, just a world just seeped in it, and just this beautiful fucking game. It was awesome. It was such a great time. I can't tell you how many times, like, I had like a main story quest I had to go do, but I just wanted to lose myself in whatever dumb side story bullshit was happening, because I just wanted to, you know, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was one of those games where, while there was tons of side stuff to do, I felt like all I really did in that game was solve the puzzles and then beat the fucking giant mecha animals, guardians. I defeated them, and then I went to go and save the day. It took a ton of time, and then I kept playing the game, like, afterwards, you know. But with this, it just, there was, like, everything just felt like a wonderful way to fill that world. Don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild does the exact same thing, like, you know, where every little side quest does feel like it helps establish the world, but there's something about historical fiction that just really makes you appreciate it. And that maybe it's because I have that in like foundational love of, like, history. But there's, like, so much of just the way that it paints light for these people, and just the dumbest little things, like the non-hang-ups the Greeks had about literally everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there was so much of just, like, love put into the project, and obviously I did touch Origin a little bit afterwards, only afterwards realizing I probably should take a breather from these worlds, because, like, the unfortunate thing is that Origin, while it does look super great, and while it does, you know, while I am really enjoying the Egyptian world, I'm used to the camera of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, in which it's a little out. It feels a little too close. It feels a little too close, so I'm putting it down for a little bit. I'm putting Origin down for a little bit, and I'm actually playing The Witcher 3. I'm seeing how I like that. It takes a while to adapt to the play style of that game. And I remember, like, even then, that's another game I ended up dropping out of just not having a real interest in it. But then, like, after watching the show, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll give it a shot and see how I like it. And I'm definitely enjoying it way more now.
Is it really that different?
With context. I have context now to everything that's happening in that world. And because I have that context, I feel like... Because it's... I'm sure that you could probably play the game without the context of the world and then just learn about it as you go. But now that I actually... like, it's like playing a Lord of the Rings game without knowing anything about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I could see why that would be an issue.
So... But... anyways, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably one of my favorite games. I really wish I would have beaten this game before I made my top 10 list, because this game was just wonderful. It was such a good time. And there's rumors that Assassin's Creed Ragnarok will be the next game, taking place obviously in Viking times, hopefully with Ragnar Lothbrok and all those boys from So I'm excited for that. I'm super excited at the concept of the assassin Viking. But it's also weird because I think there's something that happens at the very end of this game that kind of sets up an interesting dilemma for our main characters. So we'll see how this turns out.
Okay.
I really liked the ending of this game, but unfortunately it kind of falls into Skyrim territory a little, in which the end of the main story technically happens, but the game doesn't have credits or anything to like emphasize the end. So you just plop back into the game, and it was a little jarring. I was kind of hoping for some credits. I know that it's weird to hope for the credits, but credits have become such a staple of the end. And
they just help, honestly, sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they just help emphasize what's going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that being said, I would say this. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I know, once again, this isn't the most up-to-date thing. And of course, it was brought to my attention literally earlier this week that Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind popped and apparently added 20-plus hours of gameplay to that game.
Holy shit, did it?
Yeah, so we gotta go grab Sora. and
we really do, fuck.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, anyways, that kind of ends today's episode of Mitch's Minute. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I wanted. Jesus Christ.
I guess this one.
Thank you all for listening so much for another episode. I know this wasn't a lot of like really up-to-date things. I know that like most of the time when we do these, we try to pick things that are happening a little bit more currently and get our takes on things. But honestly, the week was just kind of slow. Like there wasn't really much that was really going on. Save for like, just the standard stuff. I mean, if anything, I probably could talk about Fire Emblem and how fucked it is right now.
But we talk about that every time it's like time to play Fire Emblem.
Oh, that's super true. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. This episode was a little bit more manga heavy, but I know that might not be something you guys are really interested in listening to. But just, reading is fun, guys. Reading is a really good time. So anyways, we'll catch you all next time. Next week, next week.
Yeah.
No, because I just remembered we got to go back to the war. I forgot. There's part of me that literally just forgot that Tuesday we have to go back to the war.
What war?
The Fire Emblem War.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in my mind for some reason. I was like, "Yep, time to go back to the academy." Oh god. Oh god, no.
Yeah, no, there is no more academy.
That's right. It's just war. All right, guys.
Yeah, now it's baby wartime.
Oh, fuck.